Chair, the witness was looking for annexure SS25. Commissioners, you'll find that in your bundle at file 3 of 10, page 430. SS25.
Ms. Hassim, good morning, General. Can I also ask him to look at file 2A, I think, on page 755? Because there was a question that Chair asked. I think maybe it may be answered with reference to that document.
2A page?
Page 7.
2A, page 755.
Do you mind assisting the witness? Thank you.
General, you will recall that Chair said you don't need an SSA report to tell you what the document is because you are the one who suggested that it be purchased. Do you remember that discussion with Chair?
I do, Chair.
Yes. Now, you were responding to that question, and I believe the last question was whether this equipment was buying equipment. So have a look at page 755 to, I think it's 758, and just clarify for us whether that is the equipment that was purchased.
It's one of the equipments, Chair.
It's not all of them.
No, it's not all of them. There were many.
There were many.
When I say there were many, it was just the whole, like, cameras.
But before we
videos.
leave this document, just read, you'll see that on page 755, there's the address and the addressee, and then there are salutations, and then the first paragraph. Just read the last sentence of the second paragraph.
That says the equipment inspected by
The last sentence of that paragraph.
Here with the report on each piece of equipment.
No, General, the
equipment-
paragraph you were reading, it says the equipment cannot.
It says the equipment cannot be used for spying purposes and does not have the capability to be applied as spying equipment.
But since you've said this was part of it, not all of it, maybe you can then move to the next part of the question.
What I think, should I move away completely from this, Chair? But what I wanted to have into the record, Chair, is this letter of SSA is only 2 pages, but 1.5. I won't read all of them, but most importantly, the paragraphs that I think are most relevant.
That's SS25.
Can I proceed, Chair?
Yes, General.
Paragraph number 2 says, please be informed that the SSA did conduct an inspection, analysis, and test of the equipment that was procured by GVs in order to determine whether it is defensive or offensive. In light of the above inspection and analysis of the instrument and equipment which the GVs is in possession of as per the invoice received from suppliers, the SSA can confirm the following. The instrument in question are technical surveillance countermeasures equipment. TSCM equipment is utilized for identification of eavesdropping devices and cannot be repurposed to perform any other offensive or collection functions. It is not intelligence gathering equipment as alleged. A private company conducted training of COJ functionaries in the utilization of the equipment independently without any sanction or involvement of the SSA. The SSA did not provide the manuals referred to in the letter. The manuals are documents that freely available on the internet and can be accessed by any individual at the following website, and they give the website. The other equipment of interest that was found in the COJ's war room during inspection is a digital forensic equipment. Digital forensic equipment is the science of acquiring, preserving, retrieving, and presenting data that has been processed electronically and stored on computer media and is governed by Electronic Communications and Transaction Act 25 of 2002 and does not fall within the domain of intelligence service laws. It is normally utilized during criminal investigations. In light of the above, the SSA would like to conclude that there was no contravention of its governing legislation as alleged in the letter. That's what I wanted to read, Chair.
Okay, thank you, General. Just for the sake of completeness, a quick question. These inspections took place at the GFIS offices?
Yes, Chair, they all came, gathered at the offices, opened the war room, asked for a paperwork, take each device, compare with the invoice, go through it. They took them to go and inspect them. Then a report was reported. And this was reported by council. It was not done because I wrote a letter or what. Council said, let this be investigated. And then a letter was written and then the result came.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. So it was inspection at the offices, and would you confirm that there was no equipment anywhere else outside of the offices?
Yes, including a grabber.
Thank you. So we need to return to your statement, and you were at paragraph, I think now you need to turn to paragraph 57.
Now, this is in relation to my subsection from the South African Police Service following the disbandment of the PKT team. On the 12th of September 2025, I was served with a notice of suspension in terms of Regulation 10 subsection 3 of the South African Police Service Discipline Regulation, in terms of which the National Commissioner suspended me. So the challenges leveled against me can be summarized as follows. Charge 1, serious misconduct in terms of Regulation 5, subsection 3J of the SAPS discipline regulation, in that I, on or about 17 January 2025, at or near South African Police Service head office, Pretoria, failed to comply with a lawful order or written instruction without just or reasonable cost, by issuing written instructions to the Divisional Commissioner, Crime Intelligence, concerning the deactivation, disbandment of the PKTT, despite having been instructed to leave the matter with the National Commissioner, and without instruction, approval, or consent of the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. Charge 2, serious misconduct in terms of Regulation 5, subsection 3BI of the discipline regulation, in that on or about 4 February 2025, at or near SAPS head office, Pretoria, I performed an act with the intention to cause harm to or to prejudice the interest of the service by issuing instructions to the Divisional Commissioner, Detective and Forensic Service that all case docket personnel and other resources of the PKTT be withdrawn with immediate effect, without the instruction, approval, or consent of the National Commissioner, which conduct allegedly hindered, delayed, or prejudiced the investigation of the affected case dockets. On the 22nd of April 2025, at or near SAPS head office, Pretoria, I conducted myself in an improper, disgraceful, and unacceptable manner and committed act which allegedly amounted to or constituted an attempt to defeat or obstruct the course of justice by implementing and pursuing the immediate deactivation and disbandment of the PKTT, which conduct allegedly delayed investigations and or the prosecution of suspension or of the prosecution of suspect involved in serious crime investigated by the task team. Charge 4, serious misconduct in terms of Regulation 5, subsection 3, T, and 5, subsection 3U of the SAPS discipline regulations, in that I allegedly committed serious misconduct in that on or about 17 January 2025, 4 February 2025, and 22nd April 2025, at or near SAPS head office Pretoria, I conducted myself in an improper, disgraceful, and unacceptable manner by issuing instructions for the immediate deactivation and disbandment of the PKTT, in defiance of a direct order or instruction issued by the National Commissioner regarding the manner in which the matter was to be dealt with, thereby failing to exercise the power conferred upon me in a responsible and controlled manner, and or failing to participate in endeavors aimed at addressing the root cause of crime. The last charge, charge 5, serious misconduct in terms of Regulation 5, subsection 3T and 5.4 X of the SAPS discipline regulation, in that and on or about 17 January 2025 and 22 April 2025, I conducted myself in an improper, disgraceful, and unacceptable manner and committed misconduct which allegedly detrimentally affected the image of the South African of the service and or brought the service into disrepute and or involved an element of dishonesty by acting contrary to the instructions of the National Commissioner relating to the winding down of the PKTT. The disciplinary proceedings relating to my suspension are still ongoing. Should I proceed to the disbandment of the political killing task team? Chair, at the outset, I wish to state that in my experience, task teams are ordinarily established for a defined purpose and are intended to operate for a finite lifespan. The PKTT was no different. It was constituted to address a specific operational objective and was never intended to exist indefinitely. I am of the considered view that it was never within the contemplation of the SAPS leadership that the PKTT would remain in existence indefinitely.
Can we just pause there for a moment? Just remind us, when the PKTT was established, were you within SAPS or were you with City of Joburg?
I was in the City of Joburg.
You were in the City of Joburg?
That's correct.
So you don't have personal knowledge of what was contemplated by those who established it, because you were not within SAPS.
Yes.
You can only, based on documents you have seen or people who have told you
That's correct,
that
Chair.
this is what was intended.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Sorry, just clarify, you came back to SAPS in July 2022?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay.
Must I
May
proceed?
continue?
This is now paragraph 61. This is so because I am aware of a work study report that was prepared as far back as June 2019 regarding the disestablishment of specialized capacities units within the SAPS. To my knowledge, among these specialized capacities units, a dedicated murder and robbery unit would be established, among others. My understanding is that this unit would in due course assume responsibility for the cases presented being dealt with by the PKTT. A copy of this work study is attached here to us, marked as SS3. This is corroborated by the address at Parliament of Portfolio meeting of 5 March 2025. Should I proceed or can I go to, because it is important to go through the annex as well, SS3.
You can go to SS3 if there's something in particular you'd like to draw the
S3.
What's the
attention
file
to.
number?
Pardon?
File number.
Which one?
File 2,
File 2.
page 114.
I just want to, whilst I have it, Chair, I know that in mine I also made some notes here and there, so I have it already here, but I want to just feel comfortable where I know that I made a comment somewhere.
No, find yours, General.
Without any waste of 114, here I've got it. Now, this document talks about the establishment of specialized capacities, anti-gang units, murder and robbery units, inclusive of taxi violence and cold case investigation functions within the South African Police Service. This document is a report that was sanctioned, and the assignment here, the National Commissioner indicated that during a meeting in 2018 that the establishment of new specialized capacities needs to be investigated with specific focus on murder and robbery, anti-gang, as well as taxi violence. Now, this document talks about the establishment of specialized units, among others, the murder and robbery unit. And the murder and robbery unit, which is intended to investigate, among others, taxi-related killings, serial killings, including police killings and political killings. Now, this document, when it came to my attention as the current head of investigation, I read it, and it's a document that we discussed with the National Commissioner. And as I discussed it with the National Commissioner, when you go to page, Commissioners, bear with me. There's a document that I need here specifically, that talks evaluation of
Is that document within SS3?
S3.
No, I'm asking, General, is it within?
It's part of it, but it starts with evaluation of the, because I made my own notes within the date. But in this one, basically, the one that I need, it talks about the establishment of the specialized task team, and then it also talks about the numerous task teams that are in existence, and that those task teams, they run rampant and for unending period of time. I want to read into the record this document.
General, are you referring to this SS3 or the Murray report?
Can we go to the Murray report?
Yes.
Which page?
Let me just get the correct annexure for you.
Because the Murray report and this one are supposed to be together. This one supports the other one. Now, when I page here, I find that I end where it says establishment of specialized units.
Is there anything in this work study that you want to refer the Commission to? Is there anything in the contents?
Yes, in this work study, it actually specifically mentioned and assigns duties, specific duties for each and every unit that is to be re-established. And that duty of the PKTT, the one that we say political killings, are assigned to the murder and robbery unit. Now, the document that I want.
Sorry, maybe if I could try and help. If you look at that SS3, page 125, 5.4.2, and see if that's not what you're looking for.
I've got the 1251, Commissioner.
125, and then paragraph 5.4.2, which starts mandate, murder and robbery. Is that what you're looking for? Which sets out what will fall under the mandate of murder and robbery, and then it includes police killings and political murders. Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Okay.
But, as you can see, political murders and attempted murders are also there that must be attended by murder and robbery unit. Now, I want to be able to read my comments supported by the National Commissioner that says, where the National Commissioner says, implementation of this must be done by the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection and Divisional Commissioner Detective working with the provincial commissioners. And he signed it on the 5th of June, 2025. In other words,
Let me help you, General. You seem to be lost. There were two Murray reports. There's the earlier one in 2019. You were not with SAPS in 2019, so we know that that has nothing to do with you. And this one is dated June 2019. So we know that it precedes even the interministerial discussions that led to the re-establishment of PKTT in its current form. Then there's the much later Murray report, which the current National Commissioner, General Masemola, only approved in 2025, June or May, right? But that is after the minister's decision to disband the PKTT. So, and you refer to it in your statement. So I just want to be clear, which of the Murray reports are you looking for?
I wanted the last one, the very last one, because I am part of it, because I am part of the signatories there.
Somewhere in your statement, you make reference to it and you give the annexure.
It's SS47.
SS47.
Yes. Page 776.
And that's which file, Ms. Asim?
2A, Chair.
2A.
2A.
Thank you.
And it's page 776.
Yes, it's SS47.
And then, General, I think what you were looking for is at page 786. File 2A.
Yes. 776.
Shall I proceed?
Commissioner, have you found it? Yes, you may proceed.
Now, there's information as you read it, but because of time and the fact that it is, I can't read line by line. If I am to take the commissioners to page 11, which is 786 on top, it talks about the task teams that are not monitored run rampant for years without determining or accounting for the gap left where the members were taken from, mostly at station level. Task teams found operating in provinces are as follows. Now, it gives you a whole lot of task teams. It's different task teams, all of them, including this one of political killing matters team. Now, what I want to say is that, yes, I was not in the SAPS, but The fact that I'm now employed and appointed at that level, I carry on with that what I find on the table in the office. Now, when you go to page 809, I know the commissioners have seen it, and I know that I've read at some point Commissioner Baloyi reading it. But maybe from my trail of thought, I need to read it and as to why I'm referring to it. I said, it is deeply concerning that a study of this nature was undertaken and approved by the National Commissioner since 2016 to date, but not implemented by the respective provinces. What is also of concern is that despite numerous work study approvals by different national commissioners, little to no effort was made by provinces to resource and to implement the approved recommendations. This has significantly contributed to the poor performance of the detective service. In the recent crime stats release, it was evident that commercial crime investigations was neglected, considering the fact that the study proved a 17% implementation. Little else can be expected to a greater extent. There is 46 units not implemented, whereas 42 were only partially implemented. In other words, the detectives are operating under a complete deficit. There is an overall 57% shortage of capacity. Now, this is me. I fall, the distinction that must be made, whilst I understand what Commissioner Kumalo is saying, that I was not, or the minister could not have relied on this, I understand that part. In my case, I signed on the 19th of September 2024, which means already this thing was
16th, not 19th.
16th, Chair, my apology.
And let's correct a fact in your commentary there. When you say the study of this nature was approved by the National Commissioner, we know that National Commissioner only approves it in June 2025. So it's 8 months after you said what you said. And we see his approval on page 811.
No, I was not necessarily referring to General Masemola. I was referring to the previous
one.
National Commissioner, because it comes from that era. Even General Masemola was also a signatory as a Deputy National Commissioner at that time. So it comes from that long. Now, in my case, it was a question of people like to be like wheelbarrows. A document sits in someone's office for 5 months, for 8 months, and nothing is happening. Now I'm asking a question and say, where was this document? Why, if the study was completed at that time, it's still running rounds in different people's signature? Money was spent to conduct this type of investigations. I was exactly querying that. Now, when the National Commissioner also came across my recommendations, he said in page 811, implementation of units must be expedited by DNC crime detection, DIVCOM detective, and provincial commissioners. Now, here we are talking about the murder and robbery unit establishment, which has already been established in different provinces, including KZN. Now, the National Commissioner says here, I must implement, make sure that they are implemented. Even though he signed only on the 5th of the 6th month, it does not necessarily mean that it reached his office on the 5th of the 6th month. It's something that we've been discussing from my office after I signed it. The next signature was to go to the National Commissioner. So, and the bottom line is that the National Commissioner agrees with us that task teams must be established, and that the work of the political killings are to be conducted by the murder and robbery unit.
So you cite this annexure under the topic of disbandment of the PKTT. Are you saying that this report recommends a disbandment of the PKTT?
It definitely does.
Can you take us there?
You see, Chair, what I want to highlight or point out here, at this point in time, this report may not say PKTT, but it talks about provincial structures, task teams, and PKTT is a provincial structure or one of those provincial capacities. It includes PKTT, and it talks about the disestablishment of such, so that we can then capacitate these units. So, as far as I'm concerned, the PKTT is a provincial structure that was established, even though when you listen to the presentation, they will say NPKTT initially, but they call it a PKTT. But it is a provincial structure, a capacity. Now, I am saying, when I look at chapter 12 of the Vision 2030 that says you must build a capable state, you must build a state that is capable of saving the nation, well-resourced, well-capacitated with the latest technology. We're talking about now fighting crime nationally, not in KZN alone. Now, I'm sitting with this, I'm the head of detectives. I'm expected the detectives haven't been reaching their performance for more than 8 years. Now, I'm saying we need to capacitate the murder and robbery units. We need to make sure that every province is able and capable to can investigate any type of crime that is coming their way. Now, you cannot focus your energy and your resources only in one province and create an elite within only one province that is saving only one province. That is why personally I say we need to build capacity throughout the country. Now,
General, the question was, please show us in this document where it said the PKTT must be disbanded.
Oh, Chair, let me try to look for the paragraph. I thought when I said let us not look only specifically at the word PKTT, but look at provincial capacities. I was in a way trying to respond to that.
If I'm not mixing up the witnesses, if you look at page 786, there are several bullets there. Towards the end, there's reference to political matters team. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Minister Mkhunu who said that was a reference to the PKTT. He had initially suggested that it was not, but when he was engaged further, he said that's reference to the PKTT. Yeah, but I'll take you back to the question. What's your answer to the direct question?
I'm struggling to hear the chair. In particular, I think.
I'm very sorry. I said I hope I'm not mixing up the witnesses. At page 786, there are several bullets, and towards the end, there's one that says political matters team. I seem to recall that Minister Mkhunu, but as I say, I may be wrong as to the identity of the witness. Yeah. Minister Mkhunu said that the reference to political matters team was reference to the PKTT. Yeah. So I guess the short point I'm making is you are saying let's not agonize over the fact that there's no specific reference to the PKTT. So I am saying it looks like there is reference to the PKTT, if indeed the reference to political matters team is reference to the PKTT. Now back to the question, show us where it says a decision was taken to disband the PKTT. Where does this document say that?
Chair, so that I don't spend time going up and down, am I allowed to read the paragraphs so that I will come across the paragraph that I want to refer to? Because I can, let's say...
It's a long document. I have no idea which paragraphs you are referring to. But I will tell you this so long. Of course, you don't have to depend on what Minister Mkhunu said. But when Minister Mkhunu was engaged on that same subject, in the end, I think he accepted that what was recommended was a review, not disbandment.
All right, let's go to page 796. Paragraph 8.11. And if you read from up, it will say no. 8.9 will say no task team be established without written approval document from the provincial commissioner.
I think you should read 8.10.
Yeah, 8.10 say current task teams be subjected to an impact analysis by organizational development plan in the province to ensure the feasibility of the existing teams. Then you go to 8.11 that says the provincial investigation unit PIUs in the provinces that have been established be closed as discussed in paragraph 6.4, 6.5, 6.4.6, and 7.5. Members currently placed at the establishment PIUs are subjected to skills determination evaluation in order to be placed at murder and robbery, organized...
Sorry for stopping you mid-sentence. Sorry. In previous testimony, I will not even try this time to identify the witness. We were told that there's a difference between a unit and a task team. Is that so indeed?
It is correct.
So the PKTT is a task team. You read 8.11 that refers to the closure of units. So does that assist you?
It does, Chair, because at some point, this is a report that was crafted by a person, a human being, who will sometimes interchangeably uses the words. But I just say, at this point in time, I wish I had gathered those points that are specifically to be able to respond to this question, but maybe I might have to come back to it.
I think...
You see, I'm asking you this specifically because where I referred you to earlier, the several bullets at 786, the writer refers to task teams in so many words, whereas in 8.11 reference is made to units in so many words.
In other words, the author of this document doesn't confuse task teams and provincial investigating units. At 786, the reference that the chair took you to, the author talks about task teams that are not monitored. And then at 8.10, the author says current task teams be subjected to an impact analysis to ensure the feasibility of the existing teams. So it requires a review, not a disbandment.
But somewhere in a document, there's somewhere where they talk about provincial capacities. These capacities at provincial level. This includes the task teams as well. And for that matter, Chair, we have task teams nationally, every province, many task teams. They get established, and when they have performed their duties and they are satisfied, it gets disbanded. It doesn't proceed to continue on an unending basis.
That's a different point. That's a different point. What Mr. Sim is trying to establish is where it said that the PKTT must be disbanded. But I think you said in the end that you would want to go through this document thoroughly to be able to answer the question. I think in the interest of time, we should move on.
Thank you.
Yes. We may close this file now, General, for now.
Thank you, Chair. I will come back to it with a response.
All right. We'll close it so long.
Thanks, Chair. So
Thank
you then would be back to your statement at paragraph 62.
Paragraph 62. So the National Commissioner testified that the minister's directive to disestablish the PKTT came as a complete surprise to him. However, I wish to draw the Commissioner's attention to a meeting held on the 1st of November 2024 at the SAPS Academy in Tshwane, which concerned human resource management matters and the organizational structure of the South African Police Service. This meeting was attended by the Minister Mkunu, the two deputy ministers, the National Commissioner, the deputy commissioners, including myself, and other attendees. In this meeting, Minister Mkunu directed the Executive Committee of the SAPS to reconsider and review certain operational capabilities, specifically including the PKTT, on the basis that these task teams were set to duplicate capabilities already existing elsewhere in the SAPS. So this word capabilities is the word I was referring to, but I will come back. Now, paragraph 64.
Not intending to engage you in a manner that comes close to cross-examination. I will just make this observation, General. Remember the document we just had a look at now?
Yes, Chair.
And you are now talking about surprise with regard to General Masemula, and you are saying he could not have been surprised because at a 2024 meeting, the minister directed that there be a review. Therefore, he would not have been surprised by the disbandment of the PKTT. I think the easiest source for you, rather than this meeting, would have been that document. If you say in that document, there's something that says the PKTT should be disbanded. But as I say, I'm not cross-examining you. I'm just making that observation. You may proceed, unless you wish to comment. But you may proceed.
My comment will be, Chair, is that on the meeting of the first, I think it's November. On that meeting, let me read the statement because I am commenting, and
yes,
what I'll be
yes.
commenting on, it will be this,
Yes,
what is in the
yes.
statement. Chair, now I'm at page 64.
Paragraph 64.
Paragraph 64. I specifically recall the National Commissioner explaining to Minister Mkunu that the PKTT was not established as a permanent or fixed unit within the SAPS structure, but was intended to operate as a temporary task-specific capability, constituted or defined operational purposes. Constituted for defined operational purposes. Accordingly, the National Commissioner's assertion that this establishment came as a surprise to him is, with respect, difficult to reconcile with events preceding the directive and warrant careful scrutiny by the Commission, because the National Commissioner commented in this meeting. We asked for the voice because I would have loved to play for that voice, but we could not get it, where he actually said, no, the task team was just a task team that was meant to involve into a unit at a later stage. So he could not have been surprised because he participated in the discussions, and there are minutes in that regard.
Sorry, again, to clarify, like the chair, not so much to interrogate what you're saying, are you communicating in this paragraph 64 that you were not surprised when the minister issued the letter on the 31st of December? Is that what you're conveying here? Because you were in this meeting, you were part of this discussion, you're surprised that you don't agree or you're skeptical that the National Commissioner says he was surprised by the decision of the minister of the 31st of December. Is your position that you were not surprised?
I was not surprised, and I don't agree with the National Commissioner.
You were surprised that he was surprised.
I don't want to be technically wrong, maybe, and be confused, Chair. But what I want to say is that
So you maybe let me ask more directly. You expected that the minister in December will disband the PKTT?
I didn't expect that he will disband in December, or it will happen. What I knew, it was a subject of discussion.
Yes. So you say it was a discussion that the PKTT will be disbanded, and you say this meeting of November discussed that, the disbandment of the PKTT.
It formed part of those discussions, that meeting of the 1st of November.
Okay.
It was those consultative meetings.
But you didn't expect that, you were not expecting that it would be disbanded on the 31st of December?
Nobody knew that it
I'm
it
asking
will-
about you, General.
my apology, Chair. My
Yes.
apology. Sometimes
No, it's okay. It's all right. I'm asking about you in
I
particular,
was not surprised when it happened.
on the 31st of December.
No.
Okay, thank you.
I
Thanks,
want
Mr.
to
Singh.
ask a question. What do you understand? Look at paragraph 63, because this is the outcome of the 1 November 2024 meeting, a month before the minister issued his instruction. You say in your own words, in this meeting, Minister Mkhunu directed that the executive committee of SAPS, so we know who the executive committee is, it's the generals,
That's correct,
to
Commissioner.
reconsider and review certain operational capabilities, specifically including PKTT. What is your understanding of a review?
My understanding of a review is that we have certain units that when you look at them, do they really still adding value? Or is it rather a duplication of some sort? Or why don't we merge that one with that one? So that is what I understand by a review, to say, look, let us re-look into this situation that we are sitting with. We have murder and robbery unit, but you also have this capacity. I'm afraid to go long and long because it looked like...
Don't go long, we will come back to it. I just needed your understanding of what a review is. We will come back to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners. So, General, I think you were saying you were dealing with paragraph 64, where you said that basically you don't believe that the disestablishment was a surprise to the National Commissioner, and you've clarified now that that's because your recollection of the 1 November meeting was that disbandment of the PKTT was discussed.
Yes.
Okay. So you can proceed with paragraph 65.
Whilst I want to proceed with paragraph 65, I just want to say the fact that there was mention made by the National Commissioner that says, I understand PKTT was just a task team was meant to evolve, and that it can be done. To me, sufficient. Now I'm moving to paragraph 65. Due to my suspension, I am not in a position to access or obtain the minutes of this meeting, and I am therefore unable to place them before the Commission. I have, however, through my attorneys of record, formally informed the Commission of the existence of these minutes and have requested that the Commission issue a subpoena to SAPS for the production of the relevant minutes. A copy of this correspondence is attached here to SSS4. In my case, I would have preferred, in fact, the voice recordings because it's being recorded. We want to hear the voice, not the minutes, because the minutes you can capture them anyhow you feel like, but the voice recordings will make more sense for me.
But the minutes were provided to you.
Yeah?
The minutes were provided to you. They were draft minutes.
Yes, yes.
And so, did you read the draft minutes?
I did. I think it is at the time the statement was submitted, I guess. But I have seen those minutes.
It might have been even after the statement was drafted, but that's fine. Do you want to deal with the minutes at all?
I want to deal with the minutes.
I mean, in other words, I hear you saying you would have preferred the oral, but the minister himself provided those draft minutes. So is there any reference in those minutes to disbandment of the PKT?
Yes, commissioners. I want to. Can I be assisted? Which page?
Yes.
May we,
It's-
do we have, where is it, where are the minutes? Mr.
It's file 9 of 10, I'm afraid, Chair. So I told you you'd only need those 3. My apologies. File 9 of 10.
You did not take us there, the general did.
And it's page 499. 499.
Can't be, this starts around 7:50 or something.
Okay, sorry, Chair, I've got the wrong label on my file. It's actually meant to be file 6.
You have it?
I'm sorry, you said which page again? Sorry, Mr. Sim.
499,
Thank you.
499.
Ms. Hassan, this is bottom of the page numbering because at the top you've got.
The numbering in
different-
red,
Yeah, at the bottom.
at the bottom, yes.
Tell us when you
Proceed.
are you there, General?
I'm there, Chair. I'm relying on this one of the commission, but when you go to page 99, it's 502. I've got different pages now. 99,
99 at the top and 502 at the bottom.
502 below. That says, paragraph 3 reads thus. The minister further indicated that there must be reconsideration and review of certain capabilities such as political killing task team, which are primarily about addressing serious crime. He stated that SAPS should guard against creating structures, units based on specific category, whilst this duplicates the existing capabilities such as taxi killings, political killings, and being about murders. All about political killing, all being about murders. Minister directed that the presentation should have a narrative in relation to the relationship between the provincial commission. This is something else. Then the response by General Masemola, the last paragraph in the same page, it says, General Masemola indicated that the matter of the provincial commissioners was resolved some time ago by taking them down and have dotted lines to the deputy national commissioners, and the connection could still be done. He further stated that in terms of the inspectorate, in principle, the management agreed that there is a need to do away with it. However, there are difficulties with doing away with the unit right away. He gave an example with the affordability and expenses in case the regulation 35 was to be taken as an option. He further explained that political killing capabilities that is in place was in a form of task team and not a fixed unit or establishment. Now, that is what I wanted to raise, commissioners, that the National Commissioner did not really have serious or any objection. He just was actually agreeing, in agreement, that, look, this is a task team. It was not meant to be a permanent structure. It can be done. And based on these minutes, there has been a series of meetings that then preceded this meeting going ahead, in where this was the subject now, specifically.
As we said, we will engage you at the appropriate stage on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We will return to this document at a later point. You can proceed in your statement. You may put it away. So you would be at paragraph 67 of your statement.
On the 31st of October 2024, there's Ms. Mary Haas of the University of KwaZulu-Natal who lodged a complaint with the Minister of Police through Parliament regarding the PKTT. In her complaint, the Haas alleged that the PKTT was abusive and amounted to a gross wastage of personal and financial resources. She noted that these issues arose while General Mkhwanazi was in charge. A copy of the DHAS letter is attached here to us, marked as Annexer SS6. Can I proceed, Rudy? DHAS further called for the immediate disbandment of the PKTT and the urgent establishment of a judicial oversight body to investigate its operations, cases and related matters. On 6th of November 2024, the DHAS complaint was circulated to the Office of the National Commissioner and other members of SAPS by Ms. Mtembu from the Minister Mkunu's office. On the same day, Brigadier Letoko, the Brigadier Letoko from the Office of the National Commissioner acknowledged receipt of the complaint in correspondence. In this acknowledgement, Brigadier Letoko advised that the appointment of a judicial oversight body fell within the powers of the minister and requested that the complaint be placed before the minister for further direction. A copy of this correspondence is attached here to as marked SS7. This is now the different correspondences that were being sent to the Office of the National Commissioner referring it to the Minister's Office. On the 31st of December,
Sorry,
Minister Mkunu...
General, just so that whatever significance you have attached to these paragraphs is not lost on us, maybe if you would just explain the significance, why are you mentioning this and what significance are you asking us to attach to it in a further discussion with you?
What significance I'm attaching to this thing is that when you look at the series of emails that were actually being circulated about the complaint of the political killing task team and as to who must deal with it, and including Office of the National Commissioner saying issues of policy, or I wish I could be reading from it, must be dealt with by the minister. So all I'm saying is that the communication around the political killing task team, it was not like an overnight something where one day we just saw a letter that came. It is something that has been having a build-up, where there were some communications. And these communications, it included all of us, even myself at some point, I was also copied. So it's a subject that I also knew that it is on the table, it is being discussed or looked at. That is what I was trying to signal commissioners.
Thank you.
So you had been copied on the Mary de Haas complaint?
Not Mary de Haas, there is somewhere where I'm copied in the trail of emails that I'm referring to there.
Okay.
From Brigadier Letoko and others, because my office was also copied.
And you mentioned this still in the context of you saying the commissioner, national commissioner, could not have been surprised by the
Yes.
decision of the 31st of December.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, General.
You can proceed.
Proceed. This is now paragraph 68.
I believe you read paragraph 69.
On the 6th of November 2024, the Haas complaint was circulated to the Office of the National Commissioner and other members of SAPS by Ms. Mtembu from the Minister Mkunu's office. On the same day, Brigadier Letoko from the Office of the National Commissioner acknowledged receipt of the complaint in correspondence. In this acknowledgement, Brigadier Letoko advised that the appointment of a judicial oversight body fell within the minister's powers and requested that the complaint be placed before the minister. We read this paragraph before. Paragraph 17, I read paragraph 70 where I say, on the 31st of December, Minister Mkunu addressed a letter to the National Commissioner of the SAPS, General Fanny Masemola. In this letter, Minister Mkunu directed that the PKTT be disbanded with immediate effect. Minister Mkunu further instructed that a preliminary report on the disbandment of the PKTT be submitted to him by the 20th of January 2025, and that a final and closing report be presented to the ministry, the management committee, and the executive committee at their meeting in late January 2025. A copy of this letter is attached here to Annexer SS8. Now, paragraph 71 says, on the 3rd of January 2025, Brigadier Letoko communicated Minister Mkunu's decision to myself and other officials. This communication directed me, the DNC for crime detection, to communicate the deactivation of the PKTT to the relevant teams, implement the deactivation of the PKTT, and further submit a close-up report by 14 January 2025 for the National Commissioner's consideration and sign off. A copy of this document is attached here to as Annexer SS9. I pause to mention that, as a matter of course, I ordinarily receive regular communication from Brigadier Letoko. In the execution of this function, Brigadier Letoko regularly conveys and copies communication and instructions on behalf of the National Commissioner. This is further evidenced by SS7, which reflects a response by Brigadier Letoko on behalf of the National Commissioner to the Haas conveying such communication. This pattern of communication forms part of the established chain of command. Accordingly, I have always acted on the basis of official instructions transmitted through these channels, and at no stage have I acted outside or contrary to the directive communicated to me in this manner. Paragraph 73, It is accordingly evident from this correspondence that the National Commissioner was fully aware of the disbandment of the PKTT and had instructed me to execute this disbandment in line with Minister Mkunu's directive. It is also noteworthy to add that the National Commissioner did not raise any objection on concerns regarding the disbandment directive. I emphasize that any role that I played in the disbandment of the PKTT was undertaken solely in the course and scope of instructions issued to me by the National Commissioner. As I report directly to him, I was entitled to presume that such instructions were lawfully issued and duly authorized, particularly as I knew that the National Commissioner himself had received directive from the Minister Mkunu. The alternative would have been to defy a direct order from my superior, which would itself have constituted unlawful conduct and a disciplinary offense. On the 7th of January 2025, following receipt of the email from the Office of the National Commissioner dated 3 January 2025, which is SS9, my office directed and emailed to the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, and brought SS9 to his attention. I directed that he provide a closing report for his sign off by 13 January 2025. A copy of the email dated 7 January 2025 is attached or marked as SS10. In amplification of the above, I also attach here to marked SS11 a screenshot of the WhatsApp communication between myself and Colonel Afanand of my office. In this exchange, Colonel Afanand confirmed that he discussed the contents of SS9 with Brigadier Letoko, the author thereof, and further confirmed that SS10 was sent to Lieutenant General Khumalo for the purpose of preparing a close-up report to be signed off by 13 January 2025. The National Commissioner was on leave at the time when I received the email on 3 January 2025. General Musigidi was appointed as the acting National Commissioner on the 31st of December 2024. I called Major General Rabi to assist me with preparing an implementation plan. General Rabi is the head of strategic management in the Office of the National Commissioner. After having discussions with Major General Rabi, he confirmed that he would put an implementation plan together for my consideration before and submit to the National Commissioner.
General, can I just check this for clarification? You say General Musikidi was acting on the 31st of December, from the 31st of December.
That is correct.
So as at the date that Litoko, sorry, I forget his title, as the date of his email to you on the 3rd of January, General Musikidi would have been the acting National Commissioner at that time.
That is correct.
Is that what it is?
That is correct.
So he would have been so Litoko would have been sending the email of the 3rd of January to you on behalf of the acting National Commissioner, in the way things work.
It may be from the National Commissioner as well, because even if he's on leave, he's still able to give instructions as the National Commissioner.
Okay, so there's a possibility that Litoko was sending either on behalf of General Masemula or the acting National Commissioner. Anyone, it could be anyone of the two.
The one thing that is certain is that as Brigadier Letoko, the staff officer, before sending anything outside, either the National Commissioner or acting shall have been discussed with that person, and then it goes.
All right, now I understand. Thank you. Yes, thank you, General. You may proceed to where you were going.
On the 14th of January 2025, General Rabi sent the implementation plan to Major General Sebola from the Office of the National Commissioner and on the 16th of January 2025, General Sebola sent implementation plan to me A copy of the email reflecting this email trail is attached here to Annexer SS12. In other words, both General Rabi and General Sebola are in the National Commissioner's office. General Rabi is a strategic general responsible for all the reports that come from the National Commissioner, presentation before Parliament, and any strategic issue or report the National Commissioner may want to produce. General Rabi is responsible. Then General Sebola is the executive manager in the office of the National Commissioner. In other words, General Rabi, from the office of the National Commissioner, prepare a document, send it to General Sebola, for General Sebola to discuss with the National Commissioner. Then from there it can be let out. Now, the foregoing sequence can be seen from the following sequence of correspondence. General Rabi sent the implementation plan to General Sebola from the office of the National Commissioner on 14 January 2025 at 14:10. General Rabi then sent the implementation plan again to General Sebola on 14 January 2025 at 15:43, meaning the first document went out, and then the National Commissioner, let's say the National Commissioner says, but change 1, 2, 3, or the National Commissioner will say, this is operational, let General Sibiya sign it. Then the originator of the document will then go back and say, no, put it in the name of General Sibiya. Then the document comes back again. That's why the same document was sent, when you can check, at 14:10, then sent back to General Rabis, or General Rabis then sent another one at 15:43. But there is no information written in between, other than the logical question will be, why would General Rabi send a document at 14:10, the same document again send it on 15:43? Now, but the bottom line is, I then get that document from the office of General Sebola. On the 16th of January 2025, at 11:36, General Sebola then sent the implementation plan to Captain Sibongile from my office. Sibongile then printed the...
Is Sibongile a surname?
It's Keketi...
Because it's usually a first name, that's why I'm asking.
Captain Keketi.
All
It's
right,
in my
let's-
office.
Let's continue.
Of
Let's-
guard, Commissioner. But it's Keketi in my office. She's one of my support structure in the office. Now, General Rabi had cited the author of the...
Sorry, General, let me just pause you there, because you, subsequent to preparing this statement, on Monday evening, you forwarded further annexures for the Commission to consider. And you forwarded an annexure that you said was relevant to paragraph 79 of your statement as SS43. Do you still want to refer the Commission to that annexure or not? I'm just bringing it to your attention because it's not in the statement as it reads right now, because you sent it to us after the statement.
What is that one? All right, let me use this one. Now,
Is this the annexure that you
yes.
wanted to refer
Commissioner-
to for this paragraph?
Yes, by luck, I came across this document that was sent to me by Captain Keketi that says,
Let me just direct the Chair and the Commissioners. It's SS43, and it's page 630. file 2A.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
The message, the WhatsApp message says, "Good afternoon, DNC. General Sibiya brought that document from General Rabi for your signature. She advised that DNC signs it instead of NASCOM, as the letter is addressed to DIFCOM CI." Then I said, and you can see the time is 16:23. I was no longer in office, I think. I may have been somewhere. I said, "Thank you. Let's sign it in the morning then." This is me. And then this was now on the 16th of January. Then this is the letter that I wanted to, or the annexer that I wanted to just show that my office received it from General Sibiya, and she even sent a note at night, in the evening, and say a message and say, "We received this. They say you must sign it because since it was sent directly to the DIFCOM." Now the National Commission didn't want to sign it from his office, bypass me to the DIFCOM. He just said, "No, since it's addressed to the DIFCOM, then let's be assign it." Then I signed it. As you see, that letter is not prepared by me. All of it is from the National Commissioner's office.
But it was you that requested, is it General Rabi, to prepare it?
I asked General Rabi. I informed the National Commissioner that I asked General Rabi. The National Commissioner also called General Rabi and said, "Assist General Sibiya to prepare this close-up report." Yes.
Thank you. Please continue.
And did you read the report before you signed it?
I read the report.
And you agreed with the contents?
I read the
Obviously.
contents and I was satisfied.
Okay. Paragraph 80 then.
Before you do that, that message, that WhatsApp message refers to a letter that was addressed to the divisional.
That is the same letter that I signed for the deactivation, as instructed by the National Commissioner.
Yes. No, I'm trying to clear my confusion at least. That message refers to a letter that you wrote to the divisional commissioner, and yet there's discussion of instructions to General Rabi from you. Can you just reconcile that so that I understand the sequence and what these facts that are being spoken to here about?
The letter that I wrote to the divisional commission, I'm now signing the letter. It's my letter now. But that comes from the office of the National Commissioner to say, no, because it's directed to the divisional commissioner, let it then be signed by the DNC. But the preparations of the letter comes from General Rabi's office.
At your instance, though, yes, it comes from General Rabi's office at your instance.
I want to remind the chair that General Masemola himself, he also said he instructed General Rabi to help me. I understand and I accept when the chair says in your instance, but how I was advised is that when you establish or you disestablish, or whether you want to build a police station or whatever that you want to do in the police, there need to be a work study report that shows that there was an investigation or a study conducted. Now, in deactivating all the things that needs to be in the report, so the best person who can advise you on how to put this report together will be General Rabi. I called him. Then, when the National Commissioner later, when I communicated with him and said, okay, because he was saying to me, the minister says he wants the close-up report by the 20th, and then I will be back on the 14th. Make sure that when we meet, I've got the close-up report. And then I told him that, no, I've also asked General Rabi. He then also called General Rabi to say, General Rabi, make sure that there is this report, and then so that I can get it. In my case, then I directed to General Kumalo as is, and then because the National Commissioner wanted to have a meeting with me on the 14th upon his arrival, I said to General Kumalo, you make sure that I get it on the 13th so that me and him can engage, see where we can fix or change. If it's okay, then the next morning I meet with the National Commissioner. That's what happened and how it happened.
Please continue.
Thank you, Chair. You were at paragraph 80.
General Rabi had cited the author of the implementation plan as being the National Commissioner. That is the first draft. As such, my office had sent it to the National Commissioner for his signature. However, upon discussion with the National Commissioner on the said implementation plan, he instructed me to sign it off because in view it was an operational matter and it was not necessary for him to sign it.
In his view, it was. You said in view. I'm saying in his view, it was.
Yes. Sorry, Chair.
So just to clarify this, because you took us to Annex to SS 43, and SS 43 says General Sibiya advised that the DNC signs it instead of NATCOM. And then in paragraph 80, you say the National Commissioner instructed you to sign it. Because in his view, it was an operational matter. So those are two conflicting statements.
Which page, paragraph?
The paragraph you just read, you said that the National Commissioner instructed you to sign it off.
Yes.
But you just took us to SS 43.
The point is that, General, that conflicts with the WhatsApp text you referred us to.
Yeah, it's not a conflict at all. My staff officer or my admin officer in the office will come to my office and say, General Sibiya says. When you say General Sibiya says, it is the National Commissioner who says. When it comes from General Brigadier Letoko, says Brigadier Letoko says. This is something that comes from the National Commissioner. Now, how she crafted the message that says General Sibiya brought the document from General Rabi for your signature. She advised that DNC sign it instead of NATCOM as a letter is addressed to DIFCOM. So General Sibiya will never come to me, give me an instruction that does not come from the National Commissioner. So, hence we are sitting with that document, maybe the emails that shows that is a paragraph that I read before that says General Rabi wrote the document, sent it to General Sibiya. And then the author, when you look at the author, it was the National Commissioner. I took that letter to the National Commissioner and said, NASCOM sign, here is the report that you wanted. He said, no, I can't sign this thing because you can sign it, it's operational. But when you look at the fact that there was correspondence between General Sibiya and General Rabi, it went back to General Rabi, then it came back now as my name, General Sibiya now, no longer, Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, no longer National Commissioner. And you can see that it comes from General Rabi. Both of them come from General Rabi. Whether you're talking about the first one of the National Commissioner and the second one come from General Rabi, but through General Sibiya. Now, it is General Sibiya who contact my office and say, no, the DNC can sign it. It does not necessarily mean that it's her instruction. She says I can sign it because it comes from straight from the NASCOM, from the is directed to the divisional commissioner, so General Sibiya can sign it. It's not a contradiction at all.
Okay, maybe I can ask it this way. Did the National Commissioner speak to you directly and instruct you to sign it off?
Yes.
And when was that?
Remember, I took the first report to him, and he says it in his report that I came to see him on the 14th, and I found him in a meeting with General Sebola. Remember, it was his first day. There were a couple of things to discuss, including that as well. But then that's when he said, look, you can sign, I think you can sign it because this is operational and this is your team anyway. And then that's when you see the correspondence between General Sebola and Rabi again. Now, General Rabi coming with a different document that is now written General Sibiya. But you see, the safety point here is this. From General Rabi didn't come to me straight. It went to General Sebola still, who is in the Office of the National Commissioner still, coming to me still from General Sebola. Where did it come from, General Rabi, General Sebola? It came from the National Commissioner's office to my office. And as you can see, the moment General Sebola get involved with my PA or staff officer and say, the general can sign it, it doesn't necessarily have to spell out to say that the National Commissioner says general can sign it. So no, General Sibiya can sign it because it's directed to the DIFCOM. There's no contradiction there.
I think, General, what we are trying to clarify is you referred us to SS 43, which contains an explanation why you end up being the one that signs, and which is you. You say, here's SS 43. I was told that the National Commissioner, via Sebola, said I should sign because the letter is addressed to the Divisional Commissioner. That's your SS 43, and that's what you rely on.
Yes.
And in the next WhatsApp message on that same page, you say, I will sign the following day. And you explain it's because it was at night, and I think the following day is the 17th. And then in paragraph 80, you appear to give another explanation why you became the one that signed. So keep in mind SS 43, which provides an explanation, which you say it's an instruction from the National Commissioner. He say you must sign because the letter is addressed to the Divisional Commissioner. So we have that explanation. But then in 80, paragraph 80 of your statement, you appear to provide a different explanation why you signed. And I think we are trying to clarify how do we reconcile, or how do you reconcile? Maybe how do you reconcile, or how do you want us to reconcile SS 43 and what you say in paragraph 80, where you say the National Commissioner instructed me to sign because, in his view, it was an operational matter. That reason is different from SS 43. The WhatsApp message in SS 43, at least that's how we are reading it, and that's what we are trying to reconcile.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chair and Commissioners. I just want to say, as is how it happened. The fact that I said, the National Commissioner said, gave me the reason, say, no, you can sign it, it's an operational matter. I'm not taking away still that point. Whilst I also look at the fact that here I'm saying, they say, the National Commissioner say is because it is addressed to the Divisional Commissioner. It means it's operational, it's your division, deal with it. So this is a message that I have, but in my meeting with the National Commissioner, so I say sign it, it's operational.
The National Commissioner would have said this to you, following your sequence here in paragraph 79 and 80, the National Commissioner would have said this to you on the 16th itself.
not on the 16th. It would have been on the 14th.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Ms. Asim.
Thank you. I think we should proceed with the remainder of the statement. So can you go to paragraph 81?
Consequently, I changed the name on the implementation plan to my own. And on 17 January 2025, I signed the implementation plan and addressed it to the Divisional Commissioner Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Kumalo. A copy of this implementation plan is attached as SS3. Now, I do notice where I say I changed. But in actual fact, when I look at the letter itself, both letters, same letterheads, same font, same type of a document, it tells me that this is how it came. And if it is to be, it's a mistake when I say I changed it, because I signed it. It was before I knew that no, but it was sent back. When I say I changed this subsequent, is when the National Commissioner made a statement in one of, when I went to the Labor Court, the National Commissioner said, I rejected his report, and he went back and he went and changed it to his name. Then I responded by saying, but I changed it to mine signature because the National Commissioner said it is operational. But when you begin to get all the paperwork here and there, and you get, remember, National Commissioner or commissioners, I was removed from office, left the gadget, I don't have everything, enough everything. So I worked from my my memory, and then I worked from asking, do you have this or that? Now, whatever I might have said, yes, I will accept the difference. When you say, why did you say you changed it when, in fact, here you say Rabbi is the one. So I'm just saying, whether I changed it to my name or it is General Rabbi who changed it to my name, what is important here to note is that the author of the document is General Rabbi, and the intention is the same. Whether it's me who signed it, who changed this, or it's the same document.
It actually is important, General, because we need to understand what evidence you're relying on. Are you now saying, because you say in your statement, I changed the name on the implementation plan to my own. Are you saying now you want to change that? You want to correct that was not correct when you put it this way?
Yes.
In your written statement. Now, as you sit here, you're saying that's not correct. In fact, you did not change the name.
Yes.
On the implementation plan.
Yes. And the reason why I'm saying this also, Commissioner, you can see this document, this WhatsApp message is a supplement that was sent much later, I think last week, but it's something that was sent at a much later stage and she said, hey, General, I came across this message, I think maybe it might be of assistance. And that's when I saw we needed this thing. So the fact that I wrote here, I changed. To me, I accept that I said that, but I don't find it to be that material from my angle. But if the chair says, look, that it is a material, I will keep quiet, Chair.
I think we have that. In my view, and I cannot speak on behalf of the commissioners, it's material. Either you changed your name or you didn't, and we must know, which version it is you're giving us, because you gave us two different versions. But you're now saying that you want to change your original version to say that you received it with your name on it.
That's what I say.
We can move on then, Chair. All right. I think you're at paragraph 82. Paragraph 82.
Chair, before I go to paragraph 82, I'm just, my mind kicks back on that what the evidence leader just said, but my only concern is that here we are dealing with the documents whose contents, all of it, comes from the Office of the National Commissioner. Now, to me, whether I change the name on top as to it's me or from him, I'm dealing with a document that was not prepared by me. It was prepared by the Office of the National Commissioner. So I just wanted to put that point. So
Thank you.
I'll move to post to
Thank you, General.
to 82.
Sure.
On the National Commissioner's own version, as set out in his answering affidavit in the urgent application instituted by me in the Pretoria High Court under case number 2025 123874, he advised me to consult with General Rabi in the drafting of an implementation plan for the closure of the PKTT. To avoid prolixity, I only attached the relevant portion of the National Commissioner's answering affidavit marked SS14. So I want us to look into SS14 page.
It's file 2 of 10,
211.
page 210.
Which one? Two one zero. No. I'm being given this one. It talks about events leading up to my instruction to stay at home. It's not the right one.
This is SS14 that you provided us, General. It's an
SS
extract from the answering affidavit of the Minister filed in the High Court.
General, what are you trying to find? The implementation plan.
No, Commissioner, we're saying on the National Commissioner's own version, as set out in his answering affidavit in the urgent application instituted by me in the High Court under the case number 2025 123874, he advised me to consult with General Rabi in the drafting of an implementation plan for the closure of the PKTT.
General, look at page 211, paragraph 8.6, the last sentence. It starts with, I advised him to consult. Is that what you're looking for?
Page 211.
Page 211, remember we are in file 2, the annexures. Are you in the right file?
File 2, yes.
Yes. So look at page 211, paragraph 8.6, the sentence that starts with, I advised. Remember, it's General Masemula speaking, not you.
Yes. The applicant informed me that the task team should be closed down.
No, further down, General, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line from the top.
Therefore, 1, 2, 3.
I advised him to consult with.
I advised him to consult with Major General Rabi, Head of Strategic Management, in drafting an amended plan for closing down the task team. I called Major General Rabi to assist him with the phase-out plan. That's what I needed.
Yes.
To say, even the National Commissioner, he does admit that he advised me to communicate with General Rabi. And that, so which means that plan that I signed we were working together with the National Commissioner. We were in this thing together that I signed and sent. Can I proceed to
Yes.
Paragraph 83.
83? The National Commissioner further confirms on his own account that he personally contacted General Rabi and requested him to assist me with the development of a phased-out implementation plan. The email correspondence annexed here to bears this out and demonstrate that Major General Rabi was not a peripheral participant but played a material and substantive role in the preparation of the implementation plan.
I think we should adjourn at this stage and resume at 2 p.m. Let's adjourn.